you will achieve this. If you have an Aries moon, how you can heal yourself is by becoming more assertive, being your own cheerleader, setting yourself targets and smashing them, leading your own life. You see, the moon sign is how we emote, how we feel. And in some regards, it's the energy that we project onto others when we're showing that we care, right? And sometimes what can happen is when we overgive and overextend ourselves, we can become out of balance, which can actually sometimes lead to resentment, which can also lead to feeling depleted, okay, because of the overgiving and not seeing things being reciprocated. So it's okay to be in like a leadership position. It's okay to, for instance, if you are the head of your family, if you are a boss, if you are a CEO, if you are a pioneer in something, you lead by example. And that's the thing I'm trying to get at right here. In order to fill one's cup, you have to embody the natural traits of Aries for self first. So feeling self-assured, empowering yourself, hyping yourself up, sticking to your plans, executing your goals, not playing small, being assertive to go after your goals. Maybe you are a lot of different people's hype man or hype women, and that's fine. But you have to become your own hype person first. Being that pioneer that you know that you should be. And not settling for anything less. Not playing small. Not dimming your light to appease others. That's pouring into yourself. If you have a Taurus moon. I love Taurus moon people. I love Taurus moon people. Being at peace with self. You have all the answers, Taurus moon. You give a lot of great advice. People feel a sense of comfort whenever they are around you because you have this wisdom that is just innate. So trusting your wisdom, honoring yourself by valuing yourself, knowing that you are deserving of the best and treating yourself as such, pouring into yourself. If you want to have that cake, go have that cake, Taurus moon. Making yourself your favorite gourmet meal, taking yourself out to a spa, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, beautifying yourself, spending quality time indoors, making your home cozy and comfortable, having all your favorite snacks, watching your favorite programs, cooking a delicious meal. That's how you can heal yourself, Taurus moon. By tending to the inner core of you and valuing yourself, knowing that you are deserving, knowing that you are worthy, celebrating yourself, pouring love into yourself on a daily basis, even if it's as small as a cup of coffee. Doing something for yourself daily to make yourself feel valued. Treating yourself, buying yourself something, investing in something that is going to benefit your future. Maybe a gym membership. Maybe going on holiday. Purchasing something that's going to make you feel good and that will benefit you. If you have a Gemini moon, really look into how intelligent you are. Because with air sign moons, they can intellectualize their emotions, and they can be quite detached from their emotions. So how you can heal yourself, Gemini moon, is by really honoring your intelligence, and perhaps doing something that is going to help you to express yourself emotionally, such as journaling your thoughts, because sometimes with Gemini moons, they can find it difficult to express how they feel. So maybe journaling your thoughts, perhaps thinking about having your own podcast so that you can talk about your thoughts and your opinions, doing something within your community that's going to benefit other people, something around teaching, because there is an outlet that you may feel that you can't express, or you may feel like if you do express yourself, sometimes it comes across in the wrong way, or the person that you're trying to communicate to might perceive your way of communication as maybe direct or detached. So communicating in a way whereby you are clear in your communications, and perhaps I'm really focused on the mind, because Gemini actually, it rules the mind, right? Gemini and Virgos are ruled by the planet Mercury. And one way that you can heal yourself also, Gemini moon, keep forgetting, some of you could decide to set up like a group within your community so that you can connect with others, like your own coffee or tea group, your own podcast, your own radio show. Doing something that will allow you to communicate without having to keep your emotions in. And then when your emotions are expressed, it could come out in a different way. And it's to keep you feeling mentally balanced as well. Because in some cases, sometimes Gemini moons, they can come across as very manipulative. And whether they are in their evolved state or not, it can be perceived that way in some cases. But when they're unevolved, they can be manipulative. They can confuse people. And sometimes these Gemini moons, the unevolved Gemini moons, like to be in that energy of confusing others. They may like to play mind games. They may like, so if you feel like you're and in that energy, because it's quite hard with the Gemini moon, but in that energy, maybe you may feel like that's my way of communicating. I'm not going to be direct, but I'll play mind games with you so that you understand what I want to actually say. And Spirit is saying to heal that, maybe focus on why do you feel you need to be that way. This could stem from infancy, because Geminis rule the third house, and the third house represents your siblings, your neighborhood, your neighbors. So maybe when you were younger, you may have had discrepancies with your siblings. Maybe your environment of where you grew up wasn't the best environment and it had an effect on you, but you were unable to speak your truth. Maybe you had delayed speech. There's something around that. And as you have gotten older as an adult, you may feel like you do not need to explain yourself, or you may have a resentment, but you're not expressing this resentment. And one of the ways you can heal yourself is by finding a local group that you can join, But before that, I feel maybe therapy. Having regular therapy sessions will help you, especially psychodynamic therapy, because it goes back into your past. Because there's something linked with the childhood to your adulthood, with all of us, but especially with Gemini moons. There's a disconnect somewhere in their childhood that can make them become emotionally or mentally volatile towards others in some cases, because something wasn't nurtured. And also, one of the ways you can nurture yourself is finding something mentally stimulating to do, such as like crosswords, or going to play chess, and finding a group in your local community, play chess, crosswords, you know, gaming. These things will become very enjoyable. Finding groups that are like self, that are in, you know, that enjoy gaming. And these groups could be online, so you can join an online gaming group where you verse each other. You can go to regular meetup groups weekly in your community, where you have a chat and a coffee or a cup of tea. You can arrange your own meetup groups. You can see a therapist to check in, to unpack, because sometimes Gemini moons, they like to detach. So it's about finding an outlet for your communication, so it doesn't get muffled, it doesn't get repressed, and it doesn't confuse you to the point whereby when you're connecting with others, you can sometimes confuse them because your mind is jumbled and you may not understand that you're coming across that way. So that's what I feel for Gemini moon. That one was a bit tricky. Okay, Cancer moon. How you can heal yourself, Cancer moon, is by mothering yourself, because Cancers rule the fourth house. The fourth house is all about heritage. It's all about home. It's the mother. It's where we feel at home. And being a Cancer moon, I'm a Cancer moon myself, right? But being a Cancer moon can make you extremely sensitive, can make you moody sometimes, and it can make you very receptive and very empathetic. And sometimes you could pick up the energies around your environment and perceive it to be your own, and then act out. And that can have an effect on you, you know. So protecting yourself with your Cancer shell. If you feel like environments are too toxic, keep away from certain environments. Keep away from certain individuals. And that could be in regards to people that are related to you too. Because the fourth house, which Cancer actually rules, it's connected to your heritage. That's your family lineage. It's also representing to me with your moon sign, how you can heal yourself is by mothering yourself, being a mother to self. Because happy Mother's Day, by the way, guys, for all my mothers out there. It just dawned on me. But yeah, if you are a Cancer moon and you don't get on with your mother, or you don't have a relationship with your mother, or you've moved away from your mother's home and you are very close with your mother and you're missing your mother, right? Because the mother is very important to the Cancer moon person. That relationship, having a mother, is important to any person, but specifically a Cancer moon, because the moon in Cancer rules the mother. And if you are estranged from your mother for whatever reasons, maybe you've moved away, maybe you didn't grow up with your mother, maybe you don't get on with your mother, maybe unfortunately your mother passed on. Spirit is saying how you can heal yourself is by mothering yourself. And especially if you didn't have a mother that nurtured and loved you in the way that you deserve to be nurtured and loved, this is your opportunity, and this is the time to nurture and mother yourself in the way that you didn't get loved and nurtured. And even if your mother is still here, but you live far away, during your time away, Spirit wants you to love yourself and nurture yourself and heal self by treating yourself similar to Taurus moon, making your home environment very cozy, very safe and very comfortable, cooking your favorite meal, running the bath, putting some essential oils in that bath, wearing your cozy socks, doing things that make you feel nurtured and watered. Do things that you enjoy. I'm picking up soft life. And when I say soft life, I mean in the sense of making your home very warm and cozy and homey, and maybe inviting, friends or family members around and treating them to a meal. But that's given outwardly again. I'm more focused on in this reading about how we can heal self. But that's another way you can heal, because the mother is supposed to want to nurture. So that could be, let's say, 25%. The main focus of this reading is about how you can nurture self. So yeah, if you want to, maybe once every 3 months, once every 2 months, invite family members around, friends around, and cook for them. But cook for yourself in the same way. The way you go above and beyond for your children, or if you haven't got children, for your friends or for your partner or for your family members, if you haven't got children, you need to go above and beyond like that for yourself. Have compassion for yourself during situations. But don't wallow in it, because us Cancer moons, we can tend to get all caught up in our emotions. Experience those emotions. It's the thing with Cancer moons. Once we feel something, we feel it 10 times harder than other signs. I'll say Scorpio moon is in alignment with us. Pisces moons, they can just drift away and pretend that the situation didn't happen. But with Cancer moons and Scorpio moons, they feel on a deep level. Feel your emotions. Don't run away from your emotions. Sit in that emotion. Journal on that emotion. How is that situation making you feel right now? How did that make you feel when it happened? Go inwardly and get to the root. Why am I feeling this way? Okay, what was going on around you? Who was around you? Who triggered you? But they didn't say anything. But what feeling did you get when you was around that person? How were they acting? They were acting territorial. They were trying to isolate. Okay, so you picked up that there was an energy or energies around you that were trying to spiritually isolate you. Of course, that's going to make you feel sad. Of course, that's going to trigger past wounds. Of course, you're going to feel that person's toxic. Okay, now that you know that it's okay to feel these feelings and thoughts. How do you feel? How did you feel in that moment? How did you feel? I felt angry. I felt, you can start mentioning the emotions. Okay, what are you going to do moving forward if that happens again? Okay, I'm going to grey rot them. Why do you think they were behaving in that way, all these people? Because they are insecure. Because they're seeking outside validation. Okay, you know that. So it's not a you thing, right? Okay, so what are you going to do moving forward? I'm going to grey rot them. How? I'm going to ignore them. Pretend they don't exist. I'm going to shift my attention. This is the type of things I'm talking about. So regularly checking in on yourself, possibly maybe journaling every Sunday. So why I'm thinking Sundays. This gives that homey effect, because for me personally, in my household, Sundays are a day of rest. Even though me and my daughter, we train on a Sunday, right? We do taekwondo, but generally it's a day of rest. I love Sundays because it's like I can have a lie-in. But journal. Because the thing is, you can do journaling, say on a Wednesday, or on a Sunday, or on a Sunday, because you've got the whole week that you may want to catch up on. But you can journal at the beginning of the week, which is a Monday. And then you can check in on that journaling after work, or whenever you've been out. So how you can heal yourself, Cancer, is by mothering self. It's by looking after yourself, tending to your emotions and your needs, crying if you have to. And being nurturing, kind, compassionate, and empathetic to self. And loving yourself the way you deserve to be mothered. Regardless if you have your mother in your life or not. Okay, Leo moon, one of my favorite moon signs. Megan Stallion's got this moon. Ronaldo's got this moon. My daughter's got this moon. I love this moon sign. They're so dope. They're amazing, honestly. Charisma for days. So, if you got a Leo moon, how can you heal yourself? By not dimming your light. You know, you are ruled by the 5th house. You're supposed to shine. The 5th house is all about self-expression, creativity. So, finding an outlet for this creative spark that you have innately. You are fearless. You're dynamic. You're powerful, right? So maybe finding something that will allow you to express your creativity, going to concerts, meeting up with friends, going to restaurants, going to a dance class, painting, drawing, doing things that are fun, doing things that will help you express yourself, doing a sport. Because when you do something like sports or dancing or entertainment, it's allowing you to feed your soul, especially for a Leo moon. By repressing that side to you and dimming your light, you are doing yourself a disservice. You're going to feel blocked. You're going to feel trapped because that's not who you're meant to be. Not to say you want to go out there and hog up the limelight. No, but at the same time, it's in your birthright to be seen. Not in a pick me, I need validation type of way, but in a I need to express myself type of way. So doing a sport, you know, joining a team, maybe doing karaoke weekly, salsa classes, street dance classes, rock climbing is what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, joining groups and hanging out with friends. If you are in a relationship, but this is about you, making sure that you do go out on dates, whether that's once a month or once every 2 months. Doesn't have to be expensive dates. Say, for instance, you're a Leo moon, right? And you're with a partner that doesn't really like going out and all these type of things. And you're like, no, it's cool. It's not cool. Or you got a friend and they don't really like going out, but you like to go to a different restaurant. You like to go to the cinema. You like to go to theatre. You have to have a compromise, whether that means you take yourself. And that's another thing. That's what I want to get at. This reason's about what you need to do for self to fill your cup. It's not about relying on others all the time. Yes, it's nice to do things with other people, but at the end of the day, we have to focus on self first. We can't always look to others to help us and when I say help us, I mean to fill our cup. And then, because sometimes you can become disappointed because you place so much emphasis on that person having to save you, having to do this for you and that for you. And it's unfair. Everyone has their own thoughts and opinions of what they think is important. So it's about you tending to what's important to you. So Spirit is saying, I'm also picking up you're supposed to be seen, right? So wear bright, flashy clothes. That may not be some of your things for some of you, but anything Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, right? They normally say it's the big three, the rising, the sun, and the moon. I feel like it's the sun, moon, rising, Mars, Venus, ascendant as well. Ascendant, sun, moon, rising, Mars. Yeah, the big five. Leo's ruled by the 5th house. I feel like it's the big five, right? You naturally have that star quality. You naturally have that star appeal. Your clothes should reflect that. In some cases, your hair should reflect that. Your hair is beautiful. It's part of you. Because when you feel good, when you look good, I should say, you feel good. And it's not about being conceited and vain. No, but when you look good, you feel good. Because Spirit is saying, make an effort. Whether it means if you just want to like dress down, make sure your hair's on point. You know? If you don't really want to do your hair, you want to tie it up in a bun or whatever, make sure your clothes are on point. Even if it is a tracksuit. Doesn't have to be expensive, but make sure it's popping. If you think to yourself, I don't really want to do my makeup today or my hair, make sure the clothes are on point. And vice versa. Always pour into yourself. Say daily affirmations. Do not dim your light. Go towards hobbies that are going to uplift you. Don't hide who you are. Don't shy away from being in the spotlight, because it's your birthright to be in the spotlight. It's your birthright to celebrate yourself. Even if, you know, because I'm hearing for some of you, I don't always feel like dressing up. It's not about dressing up all the time, but always tell yourself how amazing and powerful you are. Always just, you know, if you feel uncomfortable with that, always just look back on the achievements that you have gained. It wasn't given to you. It's because of your hard work. It's because of your talent. It's because of your skills. So even if sometimes you feel like, oh, you know what, I can't be bothered, or that this is not going to work out for me. Remember a time when you achieved so much, and know why you achieved so much, because of your brilliance. So when you start thinking to yourself that something's not going to work out, or there's no point, remember who you are. And you know, Leo rules the heart, and a lot of people think, oh, Leos are confident. Yeah, we are, but we're human too. And Leo moons can get slighted. They can be shy, and they can especially get slighted when people don't like them, because I mean, anyone can, but especially when people don't like them, when people may act like, oh, they think they're too nice, or they try and isolate the Leo because they're jealous in some cases. 9 times out of 10, I can give you guys stories, but you don't take that on. Transmute that. It's not about being conceited. If you know you haven't done anything wrong, especially because none of us are always right, but if you know you haven't done anything wrong and you're still getting hate, and you're acing whatever it is that you do for a profession, you're standing out, you're getting the praise that you deserve because you're not taking any shortcuts, you're putting in the work, and you're shining for what you do, you cannot afford to dim your light because other people don't like you. You're going to get people that don't like you, because some people are going to see you as a threat and they feel like you're going to take their spot. But you're supposed to be an example to show them if you put in the work, you know, you'll get there too. But generally, when you got a Leo moon, people are either going to love you or hate you. Hate you because they can't be you, though. Remember that. Leo's, especially Leo moon as well, right? Leo sun, but Leo moon as well. Think about it. Cristiano Ronaldo. A lot of people like him, but some people hate him. They say, oh, he thinks he's nice, and he probably doesn't even know he's coming across that way. He takes pride in his appearance. He has a strict regime. He's very careful about what he puts in his body because he knows it's going to affect his art, his skills. You know, he takes himself seriously, and he's showing that he loves himself. And sometimes it can rub people up the wrong way because maybe their girlfriend likes him, or, you know, maybe men feel like they can't look like that. And who does he think he is? Because he's displaying a true, obviously he's an Aquarius sun as well. So he's independent, he's detached, right? In a sense of, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm a leader in my own right. This is me. But then he's got the Leo moon that is about love. And look how he is with his family. He loves his family, right? So you got big hearts. So he's an embodiment of how a Leo moon heals themselves by loving himself, but by loving his family equally. So that's what I want you to do, Leo man. I want you to pour into yourself the way you pour into your family and friends. You need to pour into yourself that way and not feel bad about it. Because some Leo moons are like, oh, people don't like me. Become like unbothered. Leos are unapologetic. Your emotions, are of a Leo. So you'll grow into this, but Spirit wants you to become so unapologetic, so not to the point where it leans on narcissism. No, but I am me. I've got this body that I've got to live with, so I'm going to celebrate it. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. I'm going to do the best in whatever area of work that I'm in. Because if I'm not going to put in my best, then there's no point in me doing it. Because Leo moons, you guys are the standard. You guys are the standard. And you shine wherever you go. And I want you not to dim your shine. I want you to, if anything, add more glitter. Add more sparkle. Because you sparkle and shine wherever you go anyway. Don't dim your light. Shine your light wherever you go, Leo moon. Okay, so if you're a Virgo moon, how can you heal yourself, Virgo moon? Okay, Virgos ruled by the 6th house, very analytical, can be of service to people. Can be of service to people to the point whereby it leads to their detriment in some cases, because they can overextend themselves. And please take what resonates, because this could be for your sun sign, your Venus sign. But I want to focus on moon signs, because moon signs, they rule our emotions, right? It's how we emote, it's how we feel. So if you got a Virgo moon, right, and you are feeling like, in order to, because I find like with some Virgo moons, they can be of service to gain a certain validation. And then when that validation is not given back in return, they can become very angry and bitter. That's normal with anyone. If you're doing something for someone, okay, and it's not being reciprocated, you're going to feel some type of way, right? But what I will say with Virgo moons, if that care is not warranted, right? If someone is not openly saying, I want you to do this and that for me, because with Virgo moons, they can overgive, right? Their way of showing how they care is by being of service, doing things for you, doing chores for you. And if someone does not want these things done for them, and you've done these things for them without them asking, you're going to become upset. And instead of becoming upset, you have to ask yourself, because it ties in with my worth is tied into how much I do for someone. So Spirit, and that can affect your mental health, right? Because Virgos rule the 6th house. The 6th house is also about the health, the mental health, the health of the body. It can have an effect on your health. And then what can happen in some cases with Virgo moons is that they will keep giving and giving and giving, and then become resentful, but they can't openly express that resentment now, because remember, that person may not have asked them to do these things, but some people will be like, hey, I'll take it. Okay, you want to give me a lift? Okay, you want to give me food? I'll take it. Free food, free lift, or free cleaner in the house. Then you become angry. Free carer in some cases. Then you can become burnt out. Then it affects your mental health. Then you start thinking, hold on a minute, if I was in their position, they wouldn't do it for me, but I'm doing all these things. But the thing is, did they ask you? Did they ask you? That's what you have to ask yourself. Am I taking on unnecessary stress? Because it's going to bring stress after a while. So Spirit is saying, for you Virgo moon, to be of service to yourself first. That is your genetic makeup. The thing is, guys, I'm not saying to not be who you are. And we've got to take other things into accountability, such as our DNA. We do inherit certain traits from our mother and our father, but with these moon signs now, there's a choice here. So I feel like with your moon sign being in Virgo, be of service to self. The same way that you may serve another person. Whether they ask you to, whether they may not ask you to, because you can overextend yourself, and then you can become critical with self or not meeting your own standards. Did I care for them enough? Did I not care? And then you could start obsessing about it, right? So what you need to do is, I don't really like telling people what they need to do. What could be beneficial, how you can heal this Virgo moon, right? I've analyzed this with people with Virgo. I've analyzed this. This is why I'm doing this reading, guys. I've analyzed this. And I wasn't even, I didn't even cut any corners with my moon sign, which is Cancer, Because I did say with Cancers, we can be, I was speaking to my cousin yesterday, and I was saying, because I've got a Mars in Cancer, I said we can be passive aggressive and even with a Cancer moon, you can be passive aggressive. And again, going back to that Cancer energy, Cancer moon energy is why am I being passive aggressive? Why can't I openly express how I feel? Is it because I don't trust myself? Because Cancer moons can be passive aggressive too. Is it because I don't trust myself? Is it because I feel like I'm going to swear or switch on that person? So it's about looking at why you are becoming in a certain way. Okay, so if I feel like I'm going to switch or swear, then I need to check myself then. Is it even appropriate for me to swear like this? If I did swear, if I was disrespectful, if I was being emotional and I flew off the handle, I need to actually apologize to that person. That's a Cancer moon thing. That's a little side snippet for Cancer moons if you've listened to the whole video. But if you're a Virgo moon, be of service to self. First, focus on your mental health. Maybe by doing meditation, maybe by reading. Definitely feel journaling will be beneficial to you, because remember, Mercury rules the sign Virgo. The planet Mercury rules the sign Virgo. And Mercury is all about how we think, how we communicate, and we can write to express how we feel. It's still a way of communication. So journaling your thoughts. Some of you may not like writing a lot, but just even if it's 5 lines, journal your thoughts. Check in with yourself and your current mental state. If you feel like you're overextending, you have to ask yourself, why am I overextending to this person? What is it about me that feels like this person is more deserving than I am? Why is my health declining whilst I'm trying to salvage theirs? I need to be someone that leads by example. Because then, like I said, it's going to grow into resentment. So you should try and focus on being of service to self. All 6 house things. Being of service to your mental health. Not just your mental health, your whole health in general. Shift the focus back onto you. Okay, I'm making sure that person is taken care of. I'm making sure that person, they've got a lift, or, have you got enough petrol in your tank? Literally, like even your tank, talking about your body now, to even give to another person. What hobbies do you have that you've put on hold? What skills and talents? Because the 6th house, which Virgo actually rules, it talks about work and hidden enemies. Are you being a hidden enemy to yourself, Virgo moon? By betraying yourself, by bending over backwards for others, and then you are not giving to self. That's where the burnout comes. That's when the resentment comes. But then you have to ask yourself, did that person even ask me to? And if I'm in that energy of overgiving, what am I overgiving for? Am I trying to find some type of solace and validation in the other person? Do I want them to see my worth? No, I have to see my worth first, so that even if I'm giving and it's not enough, it's still enough for me. And I will know when to take back. And even if they are accepting of this giving, I will still know how to take back, so that I am not disheveled at the end of the day. I am not burnt out. I can still tend to my hobbies and my likes and my interests. That's what it's about, Virgo. I feel how you can heal your moon sign is by being of service to self. What does Virgo moon like to do? Do you like to read? Do you like to be in isolation? Come on, Virgos, man. You guys rule the hermit. So you need to charge self and be in isolation. Oh, but people are going to think I'm selfish. Oh, So what's it going to be? You're going to drain yourself by being around people that may not even appreciate some of the things that you're doing, because I feel like sometimes you go above and beyond, and not in all cases. And you always try and fix things sometimes, Virgo moon. And spirit wants you to start fixing yourself first. Because none of us are completely healed, but at least show steps that you can do things for yourself first. And then you're giving that message onto someone. Because there's no point being, tired, drained, feeling worn out, and you don't have any hobbies or skills, because your whole life is revolved around, I need to fix, I need to do this, I need to do all of this. Then the people that you're fixing, they will start after a while looking at you and thinking, but you're not even, you're always tired, and obviously you guys know when you're tired, you can become quite irritable, especially if you haven't slept for a long time. People will start thinking, but why am I going to take this from you? They'll start feeling uncomfortable after a while, like, I don't even know if I want to take that from you, because I think you need it more than I do, or you sure you want to do that for me? Or they may start rejecting, whether that's overtly, or they may do it in a covert way, like start distancing themselves, or they may say, oh, I think you need to rest, or because you will not be leading by example. And then in those scenarios, there will come a level of disrespect from other people as well, because in their head they're thinking, oh, you're going above and beyond, and they'll start pushing the boundaries depending on how highly evolved they are. Or they'll become embarrassed about this overgiving, oversharing, that they'll think, you know what, I can't be around this, I can't participate in this, and they'll just start detaching. And you don't want that. So spirit is saying how you can heal yourself, Virgo, is by being of service to yourself first. Not exhausting yourself to gain appreciation and adoration from other people by, I got to do this, I got to do that. And you have that same energy for yourself. What do you need to do? Write a list, actually. Write a list of what you need to do. There's many projects or things that you would like to do, but you're fixated on how you can fix that person, it's about turning that inwardly and fixing self first, whether that means you go and see a counselor, or you change your whole regime. Like, I'm going to start going gym. I'm going to start changing my mindset. I'm going to start meditating. I'm going to start praying. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to start gardening. I'm going to start reading books that I always wanted to pick up, but I didn't. Because Virgo moons, Sun, Mercury especially, love to read and pick up information and digest information. So scheduling time for yourself in peace and in solitude, incorporating more healthy foods into your diet, going to the gym, going to the spa to de-stress, not isolating yourself all the time, finding a trusted friend, but being okay on your own. Because remember, Virgo's ruled a hermit. And it depends on what people have in their chart, but not seeing it as a crime to be on your own sometimes, because sometimes when spirit puts you in time out, that's your chance to heal. So not seeing being alone as a crime. Okay, we're going to move on. I can continue with that, but okay, how you can heal yourself, Libra moon. Okay, not everyone is nice, Libra moon. And sometimes what I find with Libra moons is that they don't want to face that reality of sometimes people are just F-boys or F-girls, because they see things in a fair and balanced way, which is a beautiful mindset to have, but not always being on the fence about things. Sometimes it does call for you to speak your truth. Because sometimes you could be facing situations and you may feel like, oh, but I get on with that person and I get on with that person. Oh, I don't want no friction. But then you're betraying yourself, because you know inwardly that someone in this dynamic is wrong and they need to be called out. Because even if you don't overtly say, oh, that person done this and yeah, I don't really agree with that. Okay. Even if you feel that way, right? And you're not speaking your truth, you are going to feel a sense of betrayal to self. So how you can heal yourself, Libra moon, is by understanding that we're not always going to be liked by everyone, and it's okay. It's okay. But by honoring yourself, by speaking your truth. Libra is ruled by the planet Venus alongside Taurus, right? So similar to Taurus, focusing on your inner beauty. Let's focus on that first. So your inner beauty will display someone that has self-love for themselves. So focusing on your self-love, pouring into yourself. Again, it can tie in with being true to self, because if one is not true to self, there can become a sense of inner discomfort, and you have a very kind soul. And that's the thing. Maybe you don't want to be shown in a way of, people are not going to think I'm a kind soul. No. If anything, people will respect you more by being honest, not trying to be a people pleaser to get everyone on side. If you don't agree with something, don't align with something. If you don't really gel with someone, don't be around that person just to be part of the team or the group or whatever. If you have issues in a relationship, speak your truth. I don't want arguments. I get that. But then you're going to be having a lot of resentment, and that is not part of self-love. By not being true to self and another person. How you can heal yourself, Libra Moon, is by doing things that make you feel good. Remember, you're ruled by the planet Venus. So regularly going to spa dates. Not all the time, but like maybe once every 2 months. Getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting your eyebrows done. Just treating yourself one day, and say, I want to get my face off, makeup done, or take a makeup course on how to do your makeup. Every time it's payday, get yourself something nice to wear. Buy yourself a perfume or an aftershave. Even if you're in a relationship. This is what Spirit wants you to do. Speak your truth. If you don't want to go out that night, I don't want to go out. I want to do this instead. If you don't like someone no more, you don't have to be rude, but you can excuse yourself. Because remember, Libras are very classy. So you can do it in a very classy way. Just start distancing yourself from the person that you feel is not in alignment with you. And that will make you feel a sense of inner peace, because you're now aligning with your values. This person is not in alignment with me. That's another thing. How you can heal yourself is by not being around people that are not in alignment with you. I've seen this a lot with Libra moons and Libra suns. And then they wonder why down the line certain things are backfiring. Because they want to keep the peace. But you need to want to keep the peace within. And that's the thing. You should focus more on how can I feel more at peace within, by being true to myself, by not being around toxic people that are not in alignment with me, by being around people that are fair, that are balanced, that are loyal. That's how you can protect yourself as well. And also staying in alignment with your morals and values. You could be like a Libra moon, but you could have like, say, like a Aquarius sun or something. So you're going to be different anyway. You're not going to be your typical Libra, right? But it's about staying true to your values, your morals. Your one's all about staying true to yourself and beautifying yourself, pouring into yourself. Taking yourself out on dates, even if you have a partner, taking yourself out, treating yourself as the prize that you are. Beautiful energy, Libra. I love your energy. I love Libra energy. And a lot of people love Libra energy too, but not everybody deserves access around Libra energy. And knowing that. And that's another thing, not giving everyone access to your beautiful energy. Okay, Scorpio moon, how can you heal yourself? Transmuting pain. But not in a way whereby it's affecting others. Not calling out any Scorpio moons like that, but I'm just saying in general, right? Because Scorpios, they feel very intensely and they're very psychic. So they can see beneath the veil, right? So how you can heal yourself, Scorpio moon, is by speaking your truth. Perhaps checking in with a counselor. Or speaking to a trusted friend or family member that will understand. You know, Scorpios and Scorpio moons, they find it very, 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 very hard to trust because they can see beneath the veil and they can see hidden discrepancies, right? And that's another thing. Just because sometimes you may view the world in a very warped way, right? And you may feel like you have to always be on guard. You need to try and let down that guard. And yes, I'm hearing your premonitions, your insight does help you, but not everyone is going to hurt you because there's the energy of having to be very contained and protective because, you know, you are the contrast to Libra moons. Libra moons are all for everyone. You know, we're all friendly here. It's not like that. With you, this protection does serve you, but it needs to be a balance. Because what can happen sometimes with Scorpio moons is that they can tend to feel like, oh, the person's going to hurt me. And then they end up hurting the person themselves. The very same thing that they fear, they end up doing by maybe withholding information, by closing themselves off, by becoming possessive. And that's another thing. How you can heal yourself, Scorpio moon, is by releasing having the need to control and possess others. Whether that's in regards to romantic relationships, whether that's in regards to if you're in a relationship and you share money, because, you know, Scorpio rules the 8th house. The 8th house talks about money, tax owed, tax gained. There could be a lot of fear. So it's about releasing that fear, maybe releasing that fear with a counselor, with a therapist, seeing a psychologist, you know, maybe there's issues around that. Of control. There's issues around control, and that could stem from not having control with self. In some cases we can all be controlling, right? But sometimes this is to the extreme. It has to be this way to the point where it can burden other people's life, and you don't want that, because one of the things that Scorpio moon fears is people leaving them. And if you're very controlling, you could end up stinging yourself with your tail by pushing the other person away. The very thing that you can actually fear could actually happen to you. So it's about mastering self, finding control over self. Okay? In life, people are going to do things that are going to pee us off, right? But I only have control over myself. I cannot control another person's behavior, another person's thoughts. I can only wish. And it's not about having hopeful thinking. It's about, I can only wish for the best, because I know it's hard. Especially when you know that someone's going to, you know, you just don't want that person to do this thing. But you have to have, or try to, I don't like to tell people what to do. Try to have that level of trust of, we look at the pros of your connection with a person, any relationship. Look at the pros and then look at the cons. Does the pros outweigh the cons? If the cons outweigh the pros, then obviously we've got a problem there, right? But then you have to think to yourself, okay, I cannot have this person by a leash. I can only trust that the pros that I have with this person will be highlighted with them moving forward and with them taking action in whatever area of their life. I cannot sit here and obsess and control. I can only control myself. And how I'm going to control myself is by not obsessing and trying to control them. So it's about that intensity. It can be a beautiful energy if you pour it into the right things. Scorpio moon. So pouring it into, okay, I'm going to seek therapy. Because, you know, the 8th house, it's all about death, transformation. And it's very psychological, right? And you can pour that control energy into something that you are passionate about. It can be dance, you know, it can be studying. Some of you may think, you know what, I want to study psychology. I want to study accountancy. I want to get into properties, buying and renting. So you can pour that intense energy and that controlling energy into something concerning, you know, and even art. You can transform, or you can turn that energy into, let me, first and foremostly, try and heal from this. Remember, none of us are completely healed. We're all healing daily, right? But you can think, okay, I have this natural personality trait, but in order for me to live with this personality trait, instead of it destroying me, I'm going to seek therapy. Ongoing therapy, psychodynamic therapy. Psychodynamic therapy is therapy that can, you know, it was discovered by Freud. And it's a therapy whereby you go into your past and it reveals why you have certain personality traits that you do in the now. It goes into your past and it unpacks the past to display why one acts the way that they do in the present. It's linked. Freud believed that it was actually linked, and I believe it is. It is, but I feel for you, Scorpio Moon, you would definitely benefit from psychodynamic therapy, and your sense of control could stem from the father. It could stem from assets, the father, money, and the father. It could also stem from how your mother and father interacted around assets. Was there enough assets? Oh, there wasn't enough, so we had to struggle. So as an adult, I feel like I don't want to be in that place of struggle again. I remember how hard it was for us. So there's a control over money, or there could be, I need to date someone that's got money. I need to date someone that's powerful. But you're powerful. You're powerful, Scorpio Moon, and you can transmute that power and become your own superhero by getting the healing, by pouring yourself into, it doesn't have to be the jobs that I describe, but any job that you enjoy doing, the intensity behind your focus will transmute that control that you have in other areas that could be destroying connections, because you're honoring that control aspect, and that, you know, sometimes you may obsess about, oh, what if it doesn't work? Your focus is going to be on, I've got to get this right. I'm passionate about this job I'm doing, and I'm going to be the best at it. And then what you're doing now, you're transmuting that energy that could be considered as toxic, because after a while people are going to feel restricted and trapped. They're not going to want to be controlled. It's going to cause arguments, etc. You're transmuting that and turning it into power, and you're connecting to your true power. And if it's in regards to, I have to, you know, it could be around money. You may be extremely frugal. I don't want to suffer again, like how I suffered before. Or you may have seen, unfortunately, like your father cheating on your mother or something like that. Or you may just grow up like all men are cheats, or all women, they just gold diggers or something like this. You know, to heal that, you may have to focus on making your own money. If you are feminine, right? And you feel like, oh, my mum only married my dad because he's got money and whatever. You may subconsciously feel like that's what you need to do. So, and you may feel like, oh, men are weak, or, you know, men are only good for one thing, which is their money, which is their pockets. That could be something at the back of your mind. Or you could be angry with your dad, so you may want to punish men. That's why the psychodynamic counseling could be very beneficial, because I do feel like the 8th house is linked to the father through my own investigations, linked to the father, assets, and who you end up marrying. And who you end up marrying for a woman is connected to your father anyway. So you got to focus on healing that father wound through counseling, becoming a father to yourself, becoming self-independent, knowing that you are powerful. Yeah, you might end up dating someone or marrying someone that is like the father, but healing that father wound as well. Releasing the need to control and finding control over self. Let's move over to Sagittarius now. If you've got a Sagittarius moon, I like this moon. My fiance had this moon. And to heal your Sagittarius moon, I feel like one should not try and appease others. You know, Sagittarius energy is very flighty. They're very expansive, meaning that you are going to want to expand, right? How you can heal yourself with this moon is that, you know, connecting to different people from all parts of the world will feed your soul. So if you've grown up to be very traditional, not to say that you want to, in a sense, you could be like rebel of your family. You may do things to appease your family. Oh, you know, so it's going to upset my parents or whatever. I have to. But inwardly, your soul wants to break free. Your soul is designed to have different groups of friends from different parts of the world, even if you live in a specific community. So nurture those friendships. You know, Sagittarius moon individuals, they're the types that can speak different languages. They're the types that can fit into any type of group from different parts of the world. So nurture those friendships. Nurture your learning also. And it's about, in a sense, breaking free. And not in a detrimental way where you want to upset the folk and all of that. But you will be doing yourself a disservice by, no, I'm only going to do this because my family come from this place. So I'm only going to have friends that are from this place. I'm only going to date people from this place. Because inside what's going to happen is you're not going to feel settled. It's not going to give you that sense of peace. This is the Temperance card. The Temperance card gives off that energy of being at peace, of being serene, of mastering thyself, right? The true wealth comes from having inner peace. Because once you have inner peace, you can then manifest from that inner peace state. Because once you have that inner peace state, you can then have the confidence to even envision what you actually want. Okay? So I feel for you, Sagittarius moon, to heal yourself, stay true to yourself. If you grew up in a household where you were forced to eat a certain dish, this is just a random, and you know you don't like that. You know, say for instance, you are from Kentucky, right? And everyone eats chicken there, but you prefer to have sushi, but everyone in your family is eating chicken and all this, you know, and you're like, okay, it's nice and that, but I love sushi. You like gourmet meals, right? This is your preference. You've gone off chicken now. This is an example, right? You are supposed to live out your purpose because your energy is very colorful, and in a past life you were probably not the race that you are now. And that's why Spirit wants to test you in a way and see if you're going to connect to your soul family. And that's another thing. You've got soul family on all parts of the world, even if they live in the same community as you. You're supposed to travel as well. So if you can, because I know, you know, cost of living crisis has gone high, try and at least get away once a year, Sagittarius moon. I'm hearing Jason Derulo, I'm riding solo. Even if it means you go by yourself. But make sure you tell your friends, your family members where you're going to be at. She's holding 2 cups, so maybe go with a friend. Right? Or a partner. But even though you go away, you may want to explore and go for a walk by yourself. If you go away with your friend or family members, it could be family members, make sure you tell them where you're going. Because you are an explorer. How you can heal yourself is by learning about something, doing some type of higher learning, whether that's online, but specifically maybe going into like a college environment, or it doesn't have to be long. It could be like a 2-week, 1-week program, because you need to feed your soul. Maybe learn a new language as well. Connect with different people, travel, go to different restaurants, whether that's by yourself or with friends. That's how you can heal your moon sign, because in that way you're not feeling trapped, you're not feeling restricted. You can have a partner in crime to do this with. Another Saggy friend, or someone that's got Sagittarius-like traits, that's going to understand that you're going to want to explore and express, because you love life, Sagittarius moon. And to feel caged in and have to pretend you're someone that you're not, because you come from a certain background, that's going to make you feel some type of way after a while. So you need to honor that and your true genetic makeup. If you've got a Capricorn moon, how you can heal yourself, Capricorn moons. Capricorn moons don't really like to talk about emotions. How you can heal yourself, Capricorn moon. Ruled by Saturn. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't feel like it's easier said than done. It's so easier said than done. But don't feel like having emotions is a weakness. How you can heal yourself, Capricorn moons, is by not associating your value to money. Okay? Not overextending yourself, not overworking yourself. Because sometimes, not with all, but with some Capricorn moons, they may tend to overwork as a way to forget, as a way not to process, as a way not to feel. If I become successful, then that means that my job is done. I've done the right thing, this, that, and the other. But then at some point, you're going to have to sit there with your thoughts. And then you may feel like all that money still didn't make me feel whole. Still didn't make me feel, what are you actually chasing? Are you chasing the status? Are you chasing the fame? Are you chasing the money so that people... That's another thing. I've dated Capricorn moon individuals in their lower vibration. And I didn't enjoy it. I've got a Cancer moon, right? And look, Cancer and Capricorn, they're opposing each other. Look, they're all opposing each other. Look, we've got Libra opposing Aries. We've got Taurus opposing Scorpio. We've got Sagittarius opposing Gemini. We've got Cancer opposing Capricorn. But I feel like how you can heal yourself is by not allowing yourself to express. And the thing is, it's easier said than done, because if that is your genetic makeup in your chart, you know, like I said, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules, regulations, restrictions, delays as well. And allowing yourself to know that despite whatever situation you are in your life, regardless if you got that money or not, you're still worthy, you're still deserving. How you are viewed by others, that could be a big deal for Capricorn moons. Capricorn moons may also really care about how they are viewed, because remember, Capricorn rules the 10th house, which rules reputation. It rules status, fame, you know, that's what makes you visible. And, you know, in their unevolved state, some Capricorns and Capricorn moons, they can want to be known for how much money they've got, their status, wearing the latest designer, this, that, and the other, but you're not happy, or you haven't got things going on outside of what you think is going to make you look good to others. So it's about not caring about how you look good to others and about what's really going on. It's quite a hard one with a Capricorn moon, because, you know, this is a sign that really blocks off emotion. So where did this come from? Are we trying to embody our father out here, or what's happening? It's about, because to me, Capricorn rules the father, right? Because if we're in that energy too much, we can become obsessed with the material and lose connections, human connections, which does require emotions. That's how you find the balance. You need to find the balance, because what can happen is, if you're chasing this fame and this money and to floss and to stunt, you are gonna end up losing human connections. How you can heal this is by, yes, you want to be seen as a pillar of strength to society, but by investing in not just how you are seen, really making how you are seen outwardly be the real deal behind closed doors. Really be happy, not just for the gram, not just to stunt on family members that you got more money than them. Really be the embodiment of that. Okay. Because I met some Capricorn moons, man, and you know, the two exes that I had, and one of them is so emotionally redundant, emotionally bankrupt. had all the money in the world, but lacked that love that he wanted from his mother. He even said to me once, like, I don't care about the money, I just want her love. I knew that, but by him confirming that, just, so trying to nurture or find connections with others on a human level. Not saying that you guys don't connect with people on a human level, but try to, it's very hard to, because remember, Cancers are ruled by the moon, Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn is very cold and restrictive energy. But try to, how you can heal yourself is by maybe spending money on therapy. A lot of Capricorn moons have told me they don't need therapy. If anything, this is the sign that needs it the most. This is the sign that needs it the most. And I'm saying that through experience, with being with one Capricorn moon for 10 years and another Capricorn moon for 6 years. They need it the most, and it's all tied with the mother. Healing your mother wounds, Capricorn moon. Healing your mother wounds. Because I have, I know a Capricorn moon person, and they are healing their mother wounds on a daily basis, and they are such a beautiful soul. They are openly emotive. They express freely. They've got other things going on in their chart which supports this, but this person is healing the mother wounds daily, and it shows. It shows in how people love them, in how they value, and they are learning to love themselves. But with the two I've mentioned, they have major mother wounds, and it affects others. And then they cling on to money, thinking that the money is going to save them. No. So healing your mother wounds. And you remember, the mother is tied into the 4th house. So there's something tied in with your heritage that needs to be healed, because the Capricorn moons that I dated, they had issues with their mum. They still have issues with their mum, and it affected my relationship with them. So I feel like with the Capricorn, remember, Capricorns is seen as like the father, and its opposing sign is Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon is very watery, it's emotional, and like I said in one of my readings, when I was dating this Capricorn guy, he did not really like when I used to express emotions. So I had to conceal that, which was selfish of him, right? You have to work through why you find emotions uncomfortable, because you find it uncomfortable with yourself expressing emotions. And it's tied up with the mother. Maybe your mum didn't allow you to express emotion. That needs to be healed. And understood that it's okay to express emotion. And maybe some of you may feel like, if I'm successful, then my mum will love me, or I don't know. There's something around the mum that needs to be healed. So counseling is a must for a Capricorn moon, to know that I don't need my standing in society to determine my worth. Me just being me, as long as I'm working on myself daily, is good enough. Yes, you can have all the nice things that you're deserving of, that you worked hard for, but don't allow that to make that be why you are valued, right? And how you can heal yourself is having the therapy. And some of you don't want the therapy, some of you have had therapy. So to make this healing ongoing is, making sure that it's okay to, like, I like nice things, so I'm going to get nice things. I'm going to get that bag, I'm going to get those shoes. You can see I don't really know about designer, because I've never been into following trends. Ever since I was young, I've always had like, oh, I like those trainers. If they are like, they haven't got a brand, but they're colorful. They got like, because I recently bought these trainers, they got like colorful laces and they got butterflies. They are not a brand. People thought they were Nike, but they're not Nike. I just like the design. I've bought like African printed Air Max like trainers before that cost me £13. I saw it in the shop. I was like, oh, I like them. I don't care about brands. If the something look good, I'm gonna rock it. That's how I am. I've always been that way. But if buying expensive things make you feel good, then go ahead. You work hard for it, Capricorn moon, right? But there is like a frugalness I found. I mean, this is like the unevolved ones. So I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I feel as if how you can heal yourself, Capricorn Moon, is be in union with your emotions and know that your emotions does not make you weak. And try not to get consumed by being controlled with how you are viewed by the public. Make sure how you are living your life behind the scenes is in alignment with how you are viewed with the public, because you can get caught up in that. Okay, so how you can heal your moon sign, Aquarius. Moon. And my cousin just messaged me, and she's an Aquarius sun. I'm going to tell her that. But how you can heal your moon sign, Aquarius moon, is by understanding the assignment that it's okay to be unorthodox. Yes, Aquariuses are all about being part of the group, but Aquariuses are also about being detached, being their eccentric original self. So allowing yourself to be quirky, allowing yourself to not follow the crowd, allowing yourself to, you know, not have to keep up with the Joneses, you know, allowing yourself not to always have to keep up with the trend, because simply you are the trend, right? Being your Uranian, quirky, eccentric self and feeling okay about it. You're not going to have the same likes as everyone else. Your hobbies are going to be different. Your music taste is going to be different as well. If sometimes you want to detach and do your own thing, do that. You know, staying true to yourself and not, because remember, Aquarius is also ruled by the planet Saturn, and Saturn restricts. So not procrastinating in regards to coming out with a fresh new idea because other people are not doing it. Why can't you be that new trend? You know, is what I'm picking up. Maybe joining different groups, clubs, organizations, even if it means going with yourself, because sometimes Aquariuses feel like they need people all the time. Yes, they are for the people, but sometimes you're going to have to branch out and do things on your own. Aquariuses rule the 11th house, and 11th house rules social media. It rules groups, clubs, organizations, right? So maybe joining up with a group, maybe having different friend groups. All your friend groups don't have to know each other. Becoming your own best friend also, and not feeling guilty about it. Joining different groups, clubs, and organizations, because you can learn from different people, but sticking to your own identity. That can nurture your moon sign. Yeah, Aquarius moons, they can be quite detached as well, and some people can view them as being quite emotionless as well. Maybe having a pet that will keep you in tune with expressing your emotion, you know, someone to take care of, like a dog, a cat, whatever the case is. Because sometimes Aquariuses can be around people, the moon sign can be detached, and because they can be quite detached, they may not be able to feel when another person really likes them and so forth, and they can become all up in their head. So if they have like a pet, then that pet can give them a sense of security in a sense. But giving yourself a sense of security and not feeling like just because you can't openly express your emotions all the time, other people don't want you around. Not self-isolating. And knowing your true power as well, because I know a lot of Aquarius moons that are very powerful. So leaning more into your eccentricities and your future forward way of being. You know, not doing things that were traditionally done before you. You know, I know a Aquarius moon boss, and he's amazing. You know, he's not one of these people. He's an embodiment of, I believe, someone that is healing their Aquarius moon, because he's respected, and he has another friend who's also a manager, but he's also he's detached from the group, and there's a lot of respect that comes with that. He doesn't feel the need to integrate, and you know, but he is close to one of the managers, but at the same time he goes off and he does his own thing. He's here, there, everywhere. He doesn't need that constant, you know. He's really in the embodiment of a boss. I will be respected. I'm not here to be your friend, right? But I will be fair and balanced and kind. I'm staying true to my sovereignty, and I'm staying true to my authenticity as well, without upsetting anyone. There is an energy of fear that is felt because he's a boss. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how you get results done in some cases. And he's okay with that. He's okay with not being everyone's best friend, and opposite to what Aquarius moon represents. And that's the thing, knowing that you're not going to be everyone's best friend, but being okay with that. Because your tribe may not be the people that you are desperately trying to connect with. They could be as eccentric as you. Remember that you are a leader. You lead by example. You're teaching other people how to be while still being a part of the group. It's okay, right? You can dip in and dip out. And you will find your soul tribe, but you're supposed to belong to different groups of friends as well. And this could be online friends too. So maybe having your own social media following, like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, you know, creating your own group club organization with eccentric people like yourself, right? How you can heal your Pisces moon, the lovely, beautiful Pisces moon. Pouring into your creativity, making sure you make time for your creativity. Creating your own fairy tale life, your own happier ever after in this life. I remember I mentioned that at my dinner last year on my birthday. Whoa, it was a bit awkward. I said, oh, do you believe in happily ever after? People didn't really understand what I was trying to say. I had a Virgo friend, my Virgo friend, she's from Romania, and she was like, I understand what you mean. Basically what I was saying is that your life, your dream life is what you create and what you make. Obviously, it's going to be ups and downs. We get that, but you can still have the home that you love to live in. You can create it to how you want it to look, so that you feel comfortable, so that you feel happy. You can choose what friends you want around you. You can choose your partner. You don't have to go out with a specific partner because you're single. You can be just like with Chili, it just come to mind. Chili is actually a Pisces, right? But everyone was like, oh, Chili, she's I remember she was on this dating show, and apparently people were so against her having all these wants. And I thought to myself, at the end of the day, she's not settling. Because the thing is, sometimes when we settle, we complain later. And no one's perfect. Even like when we're with someone that we love, there's always things that they find annoying about us and we find annoying about them. That's the standard, right? But if you settled now, it's going to be even 10 times annoying. Because if you love that person, you can live with that. You can work on that. You can compromise. But if that person is just a make can do mate, you know, you've got the soulmates, but a make can do mate, oh, I might as well, because I don't want to be lonely, and you kind of want the same things I want, then you're going to be annoyed. And that's why I mentioned about, do you believe in happily ever after? Because my belief is you can make that happily ever after a reality in your own life. When I was younger, I lived with my grandparents. 10 years of hell. I used to always stare out the window, and I used to always think, my life ain't always going to be like this. I used to stare at this big tree. I just envisioned that I was going to have kids, but I didn't see a partner. I just thought my life is not going to be like this. And in that moment to how I am now, it seems such a contrast. I'm still striving towards what I want, but at the same time, it's so better than where I was. That's my happily ever after. And that's what I was trying to convey. But for you, Pisces, believing in the impossible. That's how you can heal your Pisces moon. Believing in the impossible. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Neptune is all about dreams and illusion. Dreams. So you can turn your dreams into reality, knowing that you can turn your dreams into reality and create it. There's like a fear here, like, I don't know. Am I deserving? Yes, you are. You have that cinematic, glossy, make-believe appeal. Bring that into your creation. Some of you are great poets, singers, bakers, artists, drawers, dancers. Bring that into reality. Make sure you're pouring into some type of creativity, whether that's shown through your hairstyles, your dress. Create time for solitude as well. Pisces rules the 12th house, which talks about undoings. We cannot run away from ourselves forever. Remember, Aquarius rules the 11th house, being seen by the public, social media, different friend groups. And then Pisces is all about being secluded, connecting with self, honoring thyself, honoring your psychic ability, honoring your emotions. You know, Pisces moon can be very compassionate, a bit like Virgo, and you could be compassionate sometimes to the wrong people. Have compassion for yourself, have empathy for yourself, and not see it as a weakness, because you may feel like, no, I don't deserve this empathy, I don't deserve this compassion, other people do. The same compassion and empathy you have for others, have it for yourself. If you need to take time out, take time out. And use your time to create the dream life that you want to create. Even if it means you just have time out with yourself, reading a book, facing yourself as well, facing your delusions, because Pisces and Pisces moons can be very deluded. They can get caught up in that Neptunian fog and working through that delusion. And it's easier said than done, right? But just not taking everything as face value. And not to say you want to be obsessed and, oh, what does that person mean? Because that can be very draining. But honoring your space and knowing the essence that you carry is a very magical essence. And again, with that magical essence, like Libra, people are going to be obsessed with you. And not everyone deserves access to your energy. Ask yourself, are people in alignment with me? Obviously, opposites do attract, right? It could be a Virgo, right? Whatever the case is, or please say what resonates. But opposites do attract, but at the same time, it's like, are they in alignment with me? And it's okay if they're not. It's okay to isolate yourself because you absorb energy as well, just like Cancer Moon. And Cancer Moon and Pisces Moon and Scorpio Moon actually get on. But connect with people that are in vibration with you. That could be a Cancer Moon. That could be a Scorpio Moon, right? But this could be true to like the Sun and the Venus. Please say what resonates. It's okay to be in solitude. It's okay to be by yourself because you need to de-stress and you absorb a lot of energy as well. And it's about not overburdening yourself for others as well. And taking that time out. That's how you can heal yourself. Taking that time out and doing something creative, Pisces. Guys, it's been an honor. If you guys like this reading, please let me know. I can do a Venus one if you want. I'll speak to you guys soon. It's been a ride. Take care. Peace out.